Okay, so my name is Evan, and I'm here with the second in a series of videos that are going to be uploaded to the Kern County Law Library's website on the subject of expungement. So a quick recap on the definition of expungement as it is being presented in these videos. It is changing one's criminal record for the better, and this takes place by petitioning for dismissal of an old conviction through the court. So we're going to go over exactly how you do that in the next video, but right now we're going to cover, am I eligible for expungement? So right from the outset, we have to make sure to make it clear, this is not to be construed as legal advice being given to any one viewer. I am, after all, recording this in my office with an audience of 0. I'm not talking to you in particular. I'm just making a presentation for informational purposes, and this is generally true information, but if you want to get information and advice that is tailored to the facts of your case, you should seek a consultation with an attorney. But if you'd like to continue on with me, we're going to talk about eligibility for expungement, and we're going to go over the facts that not everyone is eligible for expungement, but many are. So you're asking what makes one eligible. So this is an excerpt from the California Penal Code, section 1203.4. If you want to pause here, feel free, but I'm going to skip to the next slide, which asks, what did all that mean? So what did the California Penal Code have to say about your eligibility? Well, likely you are eligible if you have successfully completed your probation, which means, generally speaking, that all fines and fees and restitution associated with the case have been paid in full. Also, that you have not committed any new criminal offenses, and that you've attended all of your scheduled court appearances, whether it was you personally in attendance or if you were represented by counsel. And then next, the eligibility criterion that is a little bit trickier is that you did not serve time in prison for your conviction. So there are some exceptions to this. Generally speaking, if you did time in prison for your conviction, this is going to render you ineligible for expungement through the process that we go over in their next video. But there is an exception that if you served time in prison but would have served your sentence in county jail under Proposition 47, you may be eligible. So that is the special issue that we're going to go over just very briefly, and that is that Proposition 47 was passed by California voters, and it featured a sentencing realignment measure, which allowed a person who served time in prison to petition for expungement under a close but not identical section of the California Penal Code. So to qualify under Proposition 47's realignment scheme, the conviction must have been one which would be currently punishable with a sentence in county jail rather than prison, plus at least 2 years having elapsed since the defendant completed their sentence, and the defendant cannot be under supervised release for a crime, serving a sentence for any offense, on probation, or charged with the commission of any new crime. So the question inevitably follows, but what if I'm not eligible? What if I'm ineligible for this? Well, there are certain offenses for which one is never going to be eligible. Those are, again, ones for which you served a sentence in prison, but were not part of that Proposition 47 sentencing realignment, and for, essentially very severe offenses. So if you're ineligible for expungement, you may wish to speak to an attorney or contact the Kern County Law Library about the process of petitioning for a certificate of rehabilitation. So if you are ineligible for either expungement or the certificate of rehabilitation, you may want to consult with a private attorney to determine if there are any other remedies that may be available to you. So it's a very brief introduction to the subject of eligibility. I do want to circle around and say again, if you want advice specific to your case, no member of the staff of the Kern County Law Library can pronounce you eligible. If you want that sort of direct feedback, you would need to consult with a private attorney.